Hi, welcome back. So I just got done recording the start here, and so now you're watching it. It's week one for you. It's still the same day for me, but I'm recording these back to back because there are some changes. Remember, I'm recycling my videos, and so those videos where the content kind of changed, I'm going to re-record them because even though the dates change, and I make it clear, like, hey, replace whatever date I say with the date of your current semester. That's why I have dates on all the course content, which I'm about to show you. So for week one, you've probably already found this. So I just realized I'm about to go back and show you guys how to get here in the start here. So I'm going to add a second video to the start here. It's going to show you how to get here. Anyways, I'll fix that. So course content, once you're here and you're watching this video already, these are all dated, and that's why, because that's the date that they end on January 21st, 28th. If you're in a different semester, these dates are going to be different. If you're in the future, then your dates are going to be different. Just go by whatever dates are on the folder, because that's the date that your grades go by. So anyways, you're in week one right now, and this video is just basically meant to outline what to do this week. So the first things first, go ahead and read chapters 1 through 3 in your rhetoric textbook. Let me grab that real quick. I showed you that in your syllabus, but anyways, here it is again. So the rhetoric says rhetoric, got a big bird on it. I don't know, it's supposed to be an eagle or something. I doubt it. It looks more like a raven or a magpie. I'm not sure. Anyways, that's the rhetoric. So read chapters 1 through 3 in this guy, and then read Why Men Fail in the reader. Also, maybe a magpie. I'm not sure. Anyways, begin this week by reading that, and then once complete, move on to Why Men Fail in that one. Then I want you to watch the Ethos, Pathos, Logos. That's basically a rhetorical strategy, how to argue, how to be persuasive. It explains kind of the very basic level of persuasion. Excuse me. And this rhetorical situation kind of does the same thing. It expands on that idea. Purpose, audience, and genre basically tells you how to formulate an argument. Once you understand and you have planned your appeal for the persuasion that whatever it is you're trying to persuade and whomever you're trying to persuade, it's time now to figure out what is your purpose, audience, and genre. What are you trying to achieve with your purpose? Who is the audience that you're trying to persuade to achieve this? Or how are you trying to achieve whatever it is your purpose is. And then the genre is kind of that vehicle. What is it that you're taking that's taking your purpose and allowing it to meet your audience, right? Let me back up. So imagine you have your purpose and your audience. You have to get your purpose to your audience. So how are you going to get there? That's the genre. It's the vehicle that takes your purpose and allows it to meet the audience, right? So that video explains that a little bit better. Now, writing project 1 guidelines. Those are that is the big project that's due this semester, writing project 1. When I say writing project, that just means essay, so essay number 1. I'm going to open this here so I can see it a little better, and I'm going to go back to this folder. Now basically everything that's on this guideline is due. So your rough draft for this essay is due the 29th. Again, if you're in the future, these dates will change on your document, so don't listen to the dates that I'm saying. Read the dates that are on your document, because I'm going to recycle these. And then the final draft's due February 5th. In the future, whatever date's right here, that's when your final draft is. Whatever dates right here is your rough draft. Whatever date is right here is your final draft. Now this is just an annotated bibliography, and that's just a fancy way of saying a works cited page where you write down several explicit notes. Seems like my computer is kind of freezing up again, so if it freezes, my apologies. It should be 3 to 4 pages with at least 3 sources. Let's see what else. Oh, at least 900 words. So in that, where do those 900 words, right? This is just a works cited page. Where are those 900 words coming from? Let me explain. So first and foremost, this week we're going to come up with a topic choice. Okay, the due date for that is Sunday night at midnight. Whatever, if you're in the future, remember these dates change, but either way, it's going to be Sunday night at midnight. The works cited page is next week, and that's just your sources in MLA format without the commentary. So this is where the annotated bibliography comes in. What is your annotated and the annotated bibliography and the works cited page? Those are due on the same time because, again, your annotated bibliography is a works cited page. Okay, it's just citations with a bunch of extra information, and that extra information is right here. So the MLA citation, that's the normal citation for a works cited page. I also want you to summarize the article in your own words, Assess the article, basically tell me how is it going to be useful for you, and then reflect. Tell me how it's going to fit into your research. Okay, how are you physically going to use it? Here's why it's useful. So, for instance, if you had my dissertation, let's say you picked up the Reader, has all these stories in it. My summary would be, this is an anthology. An anthology is a book with several smaller stories kind of bound together. So this is an anthology with several stories that teach that give examples of how to become or how to be what is good writing. It's an anthology with several examples of good writing. Assess. So how is this useful? For me, and just imagine that I'm writing an annotated bibliography here. For me personally, this is good because it helps me to give examples to students on what good writing looks like. It says, hey, read this essay. This is a good example of an essay. This is what good writing looks like. So that's why it's useful. Now, reflect. How are you going to use it in your research? In my research, I'm going to pull out specifically why men fail, and I'm going to have you guys read that. That's me reflecting on it. I'd have you guys read that because it's an example of a good essay that is similar to the type of essay that we're going to be writing for Writing Project 2. Now, while this is particular to the class, when you write it, you're just writing it as though you're getting ready to use it for research. That's actually what an annotated bibliography is you get your sources together and you give all these extra notes so that you can make note as to why you're going to use it. So that you don't have to go through and read all your sources 100 times. You have all these notes. You can come back to your annotated bibliography and be like, okay, what was this source? Oh, that's right. It was useful because of this. And reflection, oh yeah, this is how I was actually going to use it in my essay. And so you might pull quotes from your source and put that under the reflection and tell me specifically how you're going to use that quote. Or maybe pull a statistic out of your source and then put it in this reflection section and say, hey, this is how I'm going to use this statistic, whatever that might be. But that's how these sections kind of work, and that rough draft is due in just a couple weeks. And for this semester, January 29th, just pay attention to the dates that are written on your document. I can't stress that enough because I don't want people looking at this date in 2019 and being like, hey, it's not the 29th, it's the 13th or something. I don't know. So make sure you pay attention to the dates that are actually written on your document. I am sure that your documents are correct, by the way, so I update those. And then the final draft's due the following week. So that leaves us working on some things this week. First and foremost is your topic choice. Your essays, and I should go back to that here because I kind of skipped that, is that for this assignment, construct an annotated bibliography to guide you through your Writing Project 2. That means your actual essay in Writing Project 2. This is just an annotated bibliography. That's Writing Project 1. Once you get done with this, you're then going to move on to actually write an essay. Now, the thing is, here we are. So the thing is that Writing Project 2 consists of a causal argument. And what you're doing there is you're writing and coming up with the causation of a particular social issue. Okay, so pick a social issue. A social issue can be anything that has to do with more than you or your family. Basically, anything that happens outside your household could be considered a social issue. So if your neighbor Tom doesn't mow his grass enough, that's considered a social issue because it happens outside your household. It happens in your subdivision maybe, or maybe in your housing complex or whatever that might, wherever it is you live. But that is, sorry, I lost my train of thought. It looked like somebody's going to knock on my door. Oh, you're looking for a social issue. So that social issue just needs to be something that affects more than just you and your family. So it could be as small as Tom not cutting his grass, or it could be as large as, say, gun control or abortion or police violence, police brutality, things like that. Those are large-scale ones. It could be anything on both ends of the spectrum or anything in between. So as long as it's a social issue that is in some form or fashion plaguing society. Now, you're not going to write that essay just yet. Give it a couple weeks, because right now all we're doing is gathering sources, and we're creating an annotated bibliography that kind of categorizes and organizes your sources. So that way, when you do write the essay for Writing Project 2, you have all your sources kind of right there, and it's ready to roll. So that's what we're doing here. So now, going back to here, talk to me about your topic choice. For this, explain the topic you choose, your social issue, in 50 to 100 words. So ask yourself, what cause and effect relationships am I interested in? Because remember, Writing Project 2 is talking about what is the cause of my social issue. So if you look at abortion, you have to tell me what's the cause of abortion. You could say intercourse, but that's not really necessarily the cause. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, it's really up to you. You're the author, and you're writing the persuasion part of this, so you have to kind of decide. You tell me what the cause is. Because writing project 2 is a causal paper, it would benefit each student to choose a topic for writing project 1 that can flow into writing project 2. Because remember how those circles look in the syllabus? Let me pull that up real quick. The reason that these, and I'm going to refresh your memory hopefully, the reason that these circles down here, the reason that these circles fall within each other is because the idea is that you're using one to develop the other. And so you start off with writing project 1, which you gather sources and give notes on, and then you use those sources to construct writing project 2, which is the causal analysis and causal argument. And then you use that causation to formulate an academic argument, and we'll explain what that is in writing project 3. And then you use that academic argument to formulate a proposal in writing project 4. And they all kind of develop into one another. And so if you choose a topic for the annotated bibliography for writing project 1, then you hopefully keep the same topic for writing project 2, writing project 3, and writing project 4. That way you don't have to kind of reconstruct the parts, because if you get to writing project 2 after doing the annotated bibliography and you're like, I don't really want to do abortion anymore, it's a tough subject, it's you know, sad or whatever, and you don't want to do it anymore, well, now you have to find all new sources. And so that's just kind of having to now redo the annotated bibliography, which you wouldn't necessarily have to redo the annotated bibliography, but you will have to find more sources. So it's just, it saves you a lot of time if you think about it now, solidify a topic and say, I'm going to stick with this for the 16 weeks and write some essays about it. That's the easiest thing to do. And I know that everybody likes easy, so that's just my tip for you. So anyways, write your topic and explain that topic to me in 50 to 100 words. Explain to me, you know, what is your topic, what causation are you looking at, and just what are you throwing around. Let's see, are there any other details that I'm forgetting? No, just basically, what is the cause and effect relationship that you're looking at? Okay, the way that I kind of think of this is kind of an X causes Y, and you're going to hear me referring to that a lot in the coming weeks. But basically, if X is your cause, Y is your event. And you'll hear me calling that the X causes Y scenario, okay? Because X is your cause. Let's say that the cause for abortion is intercourse, okay? So intercourse causes pregnancy, and that pregnancy causes someone to have an abortion. An alternative might be homelessness for veterans. You might say that the cause of veteran homelessness is actually PTSD. I'm not sure how that works, but your X would then be PTSD, and your Y would be homelessness, okay? Your topic is really going to become Y, and X is going to be your cause. So anyways, be thinking about that in the future. You'll hear me reference that a little bit more in writing project 2 than in writing project 1, but it's still important to think about. So anyways, part 2 is the week 1 discussion board. Remember how you did that reading? Hopefully you did that, because now the next step is to, after reading Why Men Fail on page 70 in the reader, follow discussion questions in, answer the following discussion question, 200 to 300 words. Once you complete that, make sure you reply to at least one other peer. And usually I have a little bit more, a few more rules for that, but I guess not this time. So anyways, post your response to this question right here in 200 to 300 words, and then once you've posted your response, go reply to somebody else and give them some kind of substantial reply. And so your post, your 200 to 300 words, needs to answer this question. Does this essay qualify as an argument? If so, why? And provide evidence for your answer. If the author has to express his opinion on the subject he writes about, what would it be? What is your opinion? So basically, sorry, again, I thought somebody was going to come in. You're basically looking at that, and sorry, I'm reading again. I was just kind of blankly reading, looking at the corner of my eye. Does this qualify as an argument? So basically read that, and do you think that what the author's writing is an argument? Basically, is it opinion-based or is it fact-based? Is he kind of giving you a book report, so to speak, or is he giving you an opinion? You explain that to me when you say why. Provide evidence to support your answer. Just basically tell me why with examples from the actual text. If the author had to express his opinion on a subject he writes about, whether he did already or not, what is it or what would it be? And then what is your opinion about this topic? Okay, so those are some of the answers. In 200 to 300 words, answer those questions. Make sure you answer all the questions because I will be reading them. If there's a piece missing, then of course you'll lose some points. Or if you're below 200 words or above 300 words, then you'll also lose some points. So make sure, that's one thing about this class, is that I'm very strict about the number of words. Don't go over the maximum, because what I try to promote is concise writing. You'll hear a lot more about that as you progress through your education. But concise writing is being very precise with what you're saying, using only the words that are necessary. So if you read through your essay and you're able to find words that you could take out and have the essay still say the same thing, that means you're not writing very concisely. You're not being concise in your writing. And so I try to promote concise writing. And so I try and hold people to that 300 word maximum. So if you go over it, you lose a few points. But anyways, that is what to do this week. And so other than that, I will now see you guys in week 2. And have a good afternoon. Or